Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, let's go over the market, let's go over Tesla and figure out what is happening and what has happened today and what we can expect for the rest of the weekend, even maybe the rest of the month. So as usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button as it does help a lot. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor and my membership section on YouTube is live. Of course, the link is below. If you're interested, $3 a month, you get access to all my thoughts and updates and things like that throughout the day as Tesla is trading. So definitely, check that out if you're interested below. We're almost at 200 members, which is pretty sweet. So thank you all for that support. But let's jump right into it and not waste any more time. Tesla closing the day up almost 1% on the day, which is going to be putting us at just at about $247 per share, which is quite phenomenal. And so far going according to plan. So there's a few things to talk about, bullish and bearish. Let's start with the bullish first. So Tesla, beautiful, pretty much like probably the most textbook looking hammer candle, at least one of the most textbook looking hammer candles. I guess the hammer or the candle itself, like the width of it, not like the thick part of it, I guess could be a little shorter, right? So that would have been a little bit better technically, but nonetheless, a pretty beautiful looking bullish hammer candle on the daily, showing in theory signs of a reversal. It's a very powerful indicator, at least I believe it is. I really like it. It's one of my personal favorites. And I think this is going to be a phenomenal sign. Now, obviously, take it with a grain of salt. We need follow through, right? Tomorrow, if we don't get follow through, this can easily fall apart, especially if we drop below 240, right? That's the most important thing. But in theory, this should be a great signal for a reversal to come. Unfortunately, I think this reversal might lead into some potential bearishness coming up as well. We'll talk about that in the bearish side of the video. But for the bullish side, great candle, great reversal, great wick, just great looking candle, textbook looking candle. Now, that's number one, right? Number two, we did get a beautiful bear trap in the morning, right? I talked about it to my members, how I said most important thing is for the bulls to hold the 240 level today. And thankfully we did that. We ended up dropping a little bit below it pretty much as the market opened. Let's go to a smaller time frame here so you can, 5 minutes for instance, right? Right, a little bit of a sell-off at the very beginning, which definitely was a massive bear trap into a massive follow-through in the buying side, and then of course some consolidation as we recapture that 240 level, which was extremely important. You can see we pretty much came back down to it almost exactly to retest it, and then of course we had a beautiful rally and it closed at pretty much the high of the day. So beautiful bear trap into a nice recovery, into a beautiful daily looking candle. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people posting some bearishness about Tesla's chart, and I can absolutely see it. In fact, honestly, if I honestly have to say it, I'm still technically a little bit bearish over. I'm not necessarily bearish. I'm very, I guess, cautious, right? I'm not 100% sure if Tesla's overall chart is still bearish. I would argue that it is because, again, on the weekly, you can still argue that we're just in this massive bear flag still, right? So that's number one, right? It's still looking a little bit suspicious here. However, it's not really confirmed that this is bearish just yet. Like if we break below this flag, okay, then we could probably start really being like, okay, now we're unquestionably bearish, right? As of right now, it's still a bit of a flip, right? It's a bit of a coin flip still, right? Now, the thing we can do for now, however, is take a look as to what to expect next. So even though there are some bearish takes that are valid, which I'll talk about soon, there is still some very nice bullish opportunities here. So for instance, like I said, the candle, but the most important thing as well on top of that candle is the fact that this could have been just nothing more than a retest of this yellow line on the daily chart. This is it on the 65-minute chart, this teal line right here. And this was the line that started, or the downtrend that started at earnings, right? Right after earnings, we had the massive fall, consolidation, continued to fall all the way to 210. Then we had a massive rally, got rejected pretty much at 260, fell again, went sideways, constantly kept getting rejected by this level of the yellow line until we finally had that gap up for the Morgan Stanley upgrade. And then of course, we did some pretty nice stuff from there, beautiful rally. And then now we of course are where we are after this recent fall. But like I said, it's very common to retest breakouts, right? Or breakdowns, whatever. In this case, a breakout from this yellow line, and now we have potentially done nothing more than just a simple retest, right? So this could still be extremely bullish for Tesla. There's still very real possibilities that this is going to be very bad, but if you want to just look at it from this kind of perspective, this could just be simply a retest, right? Which would be very, very bullish. So just take that into account, right? This is not something you want to jump the gun a little too soon on. On top of that, let's take a quick look at options flow, right? Now, it seems like that options flow, the one I told you guys about the other day on Friday, and I told my members about it as well, the massive premium one, which was this one here, right? It's gone. Unfortunately, it's gone. It looks like that person had taken profit, right? If you go back to Friday's video, you'll see it. There was a person that bet, I think it was like 247.5 call for this coming Friday, which they did I think last Friday. And I think it was, yeah, pretty much that. And it was like 3.5 million in premium roughly. it's gone. The bubble's gone, and now we're getting some red bubbles coming in, some bearishness positions coming in. Definitely a little bit more bearishness, especially for the short term, than there are bullishness, in my opinion. But not too much. It's not completely outweighing it, but it is slightly more bearish than bullish. But this can obviously change, right? Doesn't mean this has to be the way it goes, right? People could be wrong, right? That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Now, overall, Tesla, very short term, in my opinion, as long as we get fall through tomorrow, looks very bullish, looks like it wants to rally. And even medium term, this could just be simply a retest, which from here we can get a beautiful, beautiful bounce from there as well. So that's number one. That's the bullish side of it. Let's talk about the bearish side. RSI still looking a little bit weak. MACD still crossed bearish. Those are not good signs, right? Those are definitely signs of some weakness and nothing that nothing that you want to see in an uptrend, I guess. Let's just say that, right? That's going to be the most obvious bearishness. Now, unfortunately, even if we get this rally from the bullish aspect, like I just talked about with the beautiful, the daily hammer candle, the retest, bounce, etc., right? There is still an extremely, very, very real possibility that we get nothing more than a bull trap somewhere around the 260s once again, as we set up the right shoulder of this potential head and shoulders pattern, right? So this could be right here, the left shoulder. Then we can get the head. And now, if we get this rally, which I think we will, but if we get this rally to, let's say, 260, it could just be something like this, right? Nothing more than roughly the right shoulder of this head and shoulders pattern, which again usually happens in an uptrend because this signifies the top, right? A bearish head and shoulder signifies that this is the top, this is where the reversal happens, and naturally, if you're going to reverse for some to the downside, you probably are in an uptrend to begin with. And that's kind of what we are right now. We're in a very kind of short-term uptrend ever since this massive rally since 210s, right? And unfortunately, it seems like this is a very real possibility. So even if we get this rally from here, and let's say we go back up to about 260 or very close to it, could just be a right shoulder. Now, the way that the bulls can defeat this and destroy this pattern, which you can see, by the way, on the MACD, it's potentially getting close to crossing bullish again. It's very, very close. But the one thing the bulls want to do to really defeat this pattern is at minimum, go above 260. You really want to go above 260, and you want to start entering the territory of the head. If the right shoulder starts entering the territory of the head, it begins to destroy this pattern, and it no longer becomes anywhere near as valid, if not completely void as well. So that's something you want to be very, very careful about. But this is still a very real possibility, and of all the bearishness, right now, obviously the RSI, the MACD, I would say this is the one I'll be looking at the closest personally, because I personally like patterns, right? Patterns is what I like to look at the most, obviously with these two as well, but I really like to look at patterns, and that's a very common pattern. It's a very easily recognizable pattern, and it's a pretty damn powerful pattern. So even if we get a rally to 260, just keep that in mind that this could be a massive bull trap as well, right? We still have, of course, the seasonality, right? We have September so far has been pretty volatile now recently, right? We still have a decent amount of September left, right? We still have about a week and a half or so, roughly, give or take. But we have October right around the corner, and it's pretty much the same as September in terms of just bullishness or bearishness for Tesla. So there's still a lot of potential, volatility and witchcraft, I guess, that can still be in store for us. So just keep that in mind. That's important to understand as well. But those, in my opinion, without overcomplicating this video, are the main things I'll be looking at. And the final thing, of course, is going to be simply to bring back our favorite 50-day and 21 EMA, 50-day moving average, and the 21 EMA, which of course are not too far above us, which are pretty much sitting at about $255-ish per share, which is very close to that overall price target of about 260, which of course is going to be that potential right shoulder. So keep that in mind. And the final thing, of course, also is we bounced exactly off the 100-day moving average. So pretty much a perfect bounce from the 100-day moving average into a beautiful candle on the daily, signaling a reversal, which unfortunately can so far potentially lead into a massive bull trap as well, if the bulls don't really just completely break through this, I guess, layer of defense that the bears have potentially set for us. So we'll see. But that's kind of what I am seeing. Those are the things I'll be looking at and paying attention to, and of course updating my members as it happens. But all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, and of course, as usual, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.